Mother is acting strangely for the last few days. I am worried about her.
Why do you say that, Mary?
Mother can't remember the date and the year. She seems confused. She stares at the wall. She gets angry or starts crying over trivial matters.
I think your mother is showing early signs of dementia.
Ray, Mother was perfectly fine till recently.
Mary, your mother is developing symptoms of Alzheimer's disease.
Ray, what is Alzheimer's disease? What causes it? Is it treatable?
This disease destroys memory and thinking abilities, and the ability to carry out the simple tasks of daily living.
Ray, I thought that happened in patients with dementia.
Mary, dementia is the loss of ability to think, remember, and reason. The affected person can't take care of herself. Alzheimer's disease is the most common type of dementia.
Ray, what causes dementia?
Dementia has many causes. In case of Alzheimer's disease, there is buildup of abnormal proteins that form amyloid plaques and tau tangles. These substances cause healthy neurons to stop working. They interfere with connections between neurons. In vascular dementia, small arteries in the brain become blocked.
What will happen to my mother? There is nothing that doctors can do for her now. How will I deal with her disease?
You can help your mother if you understand this disease better. She will forget things. She can get lost. She may have difficulty taking care of herself. She may get angry or upset quickly. She may get depressed. She may imagine things that are not there. She may pace. She may hit someone. She may misunderstand what she sees and hears.
How will I handle all this? I am already feeling anxious and overwhelmed listening to you.
I can teach you a few simple tips. Deal with her as if you are dealing with a small child. Keep things simple. Ask or say one thing at a time. Keep a fixed daily routine of everything. This way she will not feel overwhelmed with her surroundings. Make her feel safe in her surroundings. You assure her that you are there for her when she needs you to help her and protect her. Don't argue with her. Don't try to reason with her when she is insisting on something. Focus on her feelings. If she looks worried, say, "Mother, you seem worried." Encourage her to express her emotions.
Ray, you make it sound so simple, but how can I suddenly change myself and deal with her? If she is insisting on something and she is wrong, how can I allow her to have her way?
You and your emotions don't matter. Remember, she is the focus. She is the sick person. She will do and say many wrong things. She will not do them deliberately, but her mind is no more in her control. Give her space to pace. Distract her with music, singing and dancing. Use humor to deal with her. Make her smile and laugh. Involve her in activities. Ask her simple questions like her name, date of birth, time and the place where she is. Give her simple math problems to solve. If she shows frustration or anger, change the activity or topic.
You say Mother may have dementia, but how will the doctors confirm this diagnosis? Is there a blood test? Will she have to undergo some scanning? Is this a genetic disease? Will I get it when I become older?
The doctor will ask her a few simple questions. This is to know if she is aware of her surroundings. The doctor will ask questions like, what is your name? What is your address? What is your date of birth? What is today's date? Who is the president of your country? Add 5 to 6. Multiply 8 by 4. The doctor may show her a key, a pencil and a watch, and a few minutes later ask her to name the 3 things that he showed her. He may ask her to name a few flowers and fruits. The doctor will assess her behavior and personality to make sure she doesn't have other medical issues. The doctor will check her blood and urine. He may order a CAT scan or MRI.
Mother has major sleep issues. What should I do?
Exercise with her. Limit her daytime naps. Ensure she gets enough rest at night. If she is tired, she will be more restless during the day. Plan activities early in the morning that will use her energy. Have her eat more during the middle of the day. In the evenings, keep lights low. Reduce noise around her. Play soothing music that she loves. Insist on her sleeping at the same time every night. Use night lights in the bedroom and bathroom.
Ray, I don't understand this. Mother behaves perfectly on some days and at times. At other times she starts accusing my brother of things when he is not even in the house. One day she was insisting that a man was hiding in the bathroom. When I tried to reassure her, she almost hit me.
Mary, this may happen. Please don't react to this emotionally. As a caretaker, you should understand that she is struggling with dementia. This disease is affecting her brain. It is clouding her mind, her thoughts, and her ability to think and react. Think of it as a fog that has enveloped her brain. She will become more forgetful. She will feel angry, resentful, and frustrated due to her inability to do things she took for granted. She will show more anger or cry over minor issues. She may use harsh and abusive words. You have to stay calm and not get into arguments with her or lose your temper. Use soothing words. Say, "Sorry, Mama, I will not do this again." Then distract her from the issue by talking about something else.
Ray, how will I take care of her? I have to work. I have to go to the supermarket and buy groceries. I have to run errands. I have to cook and clean. I have a stressful job. Her constant demands and temper tantrums are affecting me. Ray, how will I take care of her? I have to work. I have to go to the supermarket and buy groceries. I have to run errands. I have to cook and clean. I have a stressful job. Her constant demands and temper tantrums are affecting me.
Mary, she is your mother. When you were growing up, you must have behaved awfully at times. She took care of you, your siblings, and your father. Think of her as an adult child. When you understand how to help her better, most if not all of your challenges will ease. Be patient with her. Don't argue with her. Don't force her to do something against her will. She will need help. By making the daily activities of living easy for her, you will win her trust. Once she feels safe around you, she will not behave badly. If you feel angry on some occasion, mentally count 10 before speaking, or leave the room for a few minutes. Don't get into any confrontations with her.
Ray, I am willing to do what it takes to be with her and support her in every possible way. Please guide me.
Mary, your mother's behavior has changed. She is forgetting things. She will not be able to learn new things. You can help by engaging with her. You can sit down with her and help her solve simple math problems. You can help her draw objects, birds, and animals. You can draw something and ask her, what does that drawing represent? You can gently correct her. You can try to reinforce her old knowledge. You can remind her of old memories by looking at family photos. You can help her with her daily activities. If she has some challenges, you can instill confidence in her about her safety and well-being by being around her.
Ray, I feel anxious, sad, and fearful of future. We have to die one day, but this sounds an awful way to die. Mother will not be able to enjoy her old age. She will one day fail to even recognize me. Thinking of that possibility makes me angry with God and medical science. Why can't the doctors find a cure for this awful disease?
Mary, it is unfair to blame God or medical community. I can't speak for God, but the medical community is doing its best to find a cure. I can understand your angst. I can relate to your fears and concern for your mom. Remember, we can do much to make her life comfortable and productive. It is important to work with her, accept the challenges that she is facing, and help her navigate this journey. She will be much more happy when she feels safe and cared for. She will get the best possible medical care. There are some medicines that hold a promise. Maybe there will be a cure for her in the future.
Ray, I didn't tell you this. A week ago, Mother got into an argument with one of our neighbors. She called him a thief. He was very upset. I had to apologize to him, but he was not convinced. He said that Mother was chatting with him normally. Suddenly she started yelling, screaming, and hurling foul obscenities at him. She started calling him a thief. He said she is mentally unstable and needs to be in a hospital for crazy people.
Mary, you can explain to the neighbors that she is suffering from early dementia. You can explain to them that sometimes such patients suffer from hallucinations and delusions. Sometimes they become paranoid. This simply means that these patients can imagine non-existing things or have this false feeling that somebody is harming them or stealing from them. Her doctors may prescribe medications that we call antipsychotics to deal with such episodes. You should explain this to everyone who comes in contact with your mother. This will help protect her, because if she wanders away from home, at least the neighbors will inform you and help you. Mary, let us believe in goodness of people. I am sure once your neighbors understand what is going on, they will become your allies and partners. Remember, the more people help you, support you, and understand your mother's problems, the better it will be for her and you. Please turn this into a positive experience for yourself and your mother.
Ray, what about expenses? If I have to look after her in this manner, how will I work and run my life? I am afraid that this will drain me physically and emotionally. How can I fight this alone? My siblings seem oblivious to facts. They are not willing to take any responsibilities.
Mary, I can relate to everything you said. Your mother will face problems. As her primary caretaker, you will have to deal with them. Once you understand how to manage her and understand how to deal with issues involving your mother, things will become simpler. Your mother will have difficulty organizing her thoughts and thinking logically. She will not be able to focus on things like you would expect her to. She may have difficulty dressing up. She may do impulsive things or use vulgar language. She may get angry for no reason. She may get restless, anxious, start crying in the late afternoon or evening. She may repeat something again and again. Once you learn to deal with these issues rationally, you will not feel so stressed. Once she learns to trust you and take your help, you will be able to accomplish much with her. You will have to accept these facts and not get too emotional when dealing with her behavior. You have to bring order into her world of disorganized thoughts. Her mind will be fogged. Her brain is not working properly because these abnormal proteins in her brain are not letting the cells that clean and protect the nerve cells and their connections act normally. Try talking to your siblings. Explain everything to them. Arrange a meeting with them with your mother's doctor. Let us hope that they will agree to help you in taking care of your mother.
Ray, I am scared. How can a human live with this type of clouded consciousness? I shudder at the thought of her suffering. When I had my gallbladder removed, I was medicated with painkillers. It was nighttime. I felt lonely and afraid. I was confused. I wanted to run away from that room, but I was so groggy. It happened years ago, but I can vividly recall those terrifying moments when I felt I was dying. I had some irrational thoughts. I had felt that my body was floating in air. I had yelled in fright. The nurses had ignored my calls. The nurse who came on the late night shift came to talk to me. She was my mother's age. She said to me, "Darling, don't be afraid. I am your guardian angel. I have come to rescue you." I remember crying when she held my hand. She gently stroked my face and held my hand. I felt secure and happy. I still remember her face with much gratitude.
Mary, we all had similar experiences in life. The only difference is that they were short-lived experiences. I have been reading Eastern philosophy. They have an interesting take on life and death. The ancient seers of Hindu faith believed that human life was not the end of life. When a person died, his body went back into the 5 elements that formed his body, but his soul lived. The soul never dies. Maybe the soul represents energy that energizes us. A human based on his karma has to go through many cycles of life, death and rebirth. Once a person is dead, his soul leaves the body. The soul does not die. It finds a new body. It finds a new body in the form of a newborn. The person who died is reborn. Just like we change clothes, just like we discard old clothes and wear new clothes, the soul leaves the old body that has decayed and become lifeless. The soul leaves this body for a new body. Our sufferings are the result of our attachments. You are so deeply attached to your mother that you fail to acknowledge a universal truth. Anyone who is born will die. Death does not spare the rich and famous. It comes to all. Death did not spare tyrants or the powerful kings. They all had to submit to the god of death. One day your mother will die. One day I will die, and you will die. We cannot change these facts. I am not sure about hell and heaven. I am not sure if God will welcome me into heaven or throw me to hell. I know that I will die one day. One day I will be reborn. I find this thought reassuring. I will keep on dying and will be reborn, yet my soul will live forever. I find this thought empowering and reassuring.
Ray, you were talking about my mother. How can I detach myself from her? I love her dearly. The thought of her suffering in this manner brings tears to my eyes. I feel a deep pain in my heart. I feel a gnawing pain that bores into my soul when I think of losing her. I am aware of the Eastern philosophy. I took a course in college about Indian culture and Hindu religion. I found this idea of life, death and rebirth intriguing. I forgot about it once I started working. All these years I did not think about death. All these years I was busy working. My only concern was to find a husband, raise a family and have a good time. I loved our family vacations. I loved eating out. I loved to cook and entertain friends and family. I thought of God sometimes. I thanked him from time to time for blessing me with you, with my family, my mother and my friends. Mother raised the three of us single-handedly when father died. She did not date anyone. She spent every minute of her life caring for the three of us. Now she's suffering. I feel as if her life is melting away in front of my eyes and I am a helpless spectator. I am deeply attached to her. How can I not suffer if she suffers? Tell me a way out, Ray. Tell me, how can I reach out to God and ask him to take away her suffering?
Mary, what you did growing up was what I did too. I did not think of life, death and rebirth. I finished high school and attended college. Then I attended medical school. I finished medical school, got into the residency of my choice. I found you, the woman of my dreams. My focus was to succeed in life. When I saw death for the first time as an intern, it disturbed me for weeks. I was taking care of an old man, Mr. James. He and I developed a relationship. In the chain of command of doctors who were taking care of Mr. James, I was the lowliest intern. Yet I spent the most time with him. For others, he was just a patient on the surface. For me, he was Mr. James, who greeted me with so much warmth every time I went to him. He was suffering from cancer. There was nothing we could do for him. The senior doctor wanted him to go to hospice and vacate the bed he was occupying. The hospital cared only about its profits and losses. I felt outraged by my senior doctor's callousness. I could not do much, but I tried all that I could do to comfort Mr. James. He died the next day after my senior doctor told me to get rid of him. I felt that somehow Mr. James by telepathy understood how he was unwanted in that ward. I had to certify him dead. I had to hide my emotions, but for days after that I cried when I came home. I blamed myself for his death. I blamed myself for not doing enough for him. One day he came to me in my dreams. He said to me, "Ray, you were the kindest doctor I met in my entire life." I cried in my dream. After that day, I started reading Indian philosophy. I was comforted by the thought that Mr. James was reborn somewhere and he was giving joy to his parents who loved him dearly. I imagined Mr. James as a happy toddler running around and learning new things every day. I know you will think that I am overusing my imagination to create this fantasy, but this fantasy comforted me and brought me closure about Mr. James' death. I don't think of Mr. James anymore. Maybe when I am about to die, he will be my doctor who will hold my hand and comfort me when my body is breaking down and I am counting my last breaths.
Ray, you are a wonderful man. I love you dearly. I know how much you care about me. Thank you for loving me so much. I know that you are a sensitive man. I know you care deeply about your patients, but hearing the story of Mr. James brought tears to my eyes. I too want to imagine Mr. James growing up in a happy, loving family where he is adored, loved and wanted. Mr. James did the right thing by dying. His soul, which is immutable and indestructible, found a new garb and a new body. He lives happily in his new body. This thought comforts me. I am ready to believe that this is what happens when we die. I find this idea that God has created this order where the soul lives forever, but the human body is born, becomes old and dies to be reborn again most appealing intellectually. God and his universe are all a mystery. Sometimes I think there is no God, but then I ask for forgiveness from God for such impure thoughts. God knows everything. Maybe he understands my fears and worries. Maybe I too will have a dream which will tell me that Mother will be fine. I feel better listening to you, but my heart is weary and afraid of everything.
Mary, I love you dearly too. Thank you for being such a loving partner. Deal with your fears head on. You are right that it is hard to let go of your loved ones. Your mother is not going to die immediately. I say all this with a degree of detachment, but with compassion for you and your siblings. You are affected by even the thought of losing her. She will live a few more years. These years will be challenging for you and your siblings. Once you become used to these challenges, you will feel more confident. I remain optimistic. Who knows, the scientists may find a cure for this illness. Right now you will have to work with the insights we have about this illness. Talk to our doctor and social workers. Talk to other people whose family members are suffering from this illness. Sharing your knowledge, your anxieties, your stress and your grief will help you deal with everything related to your mother's care better. Someone who has taken care of an afflicted parent can provide you many insights that a doctor or nurse may not provide you. Try to read as much as you can about this illness. Stay focused but open-minded. Seek help when you feel overwhelmed. Don't be afraid to cry. It is okay to cry, be angry, or express your other emotions at times. There may be moments when you will feel angry with her and even wish that she may die. These feelings are natural. Understand that you will have all these emotions and thoughts that will come to your mind. You can pray to God, seek psychological help, talk to friends and family. You must express your emotions when you are feeling overwhelmed. Don't hold back your emotions. Express them openly. This will enable you to be a much stronger and emotionally stable person.
Ray, I am thankful to you for giving me such wonderful advice. I will read more about dementia and Alzheimer disease. I will write down anything that I don't understand and then ask you and Mother's doctor. The last few days have been rather challenging. Mom fell down at 1 a.m. in the morning. Luckily, I was sleeping next to her. She gets up 2-3 times at night to go to the bathroom. Since her fall, I get up with her whenever she gets up at night. I feel exhausted and irritable throughout the day after that. I am afraid somebody in my job will complain about me. I am afraid I will be fired.
Mary, you should have an honest discussion with your team members about your mother's illness. You should talk to your boss. You should explain everything. You can request some changes that will make working easier for you. If nothing works, you can ask for leave to take care of your sick mother. It is your legal right and they can't deny you the same. Stop living in fear. Enjoy every minute of your mother's life with her. Take her to a park. Hold her hand and walk with her. Listen to her. Don't talk to her or talk at her. Develop the patience to listen to her thoughts. Don't contradict her. Listening to her will tell you what is going on in her mind. Encourage her to wake up and sleep at regular hours. Don't let her drink coffee or alcohol. Don't let her watch distracting movies. Play gentle music for her in the evenings. Keep lights dim for her in the evenings before sleep. Teach her to gently get up at night. Hang her feet out of the bed and sit up for a minute or two in bed before getting up. Explain to her to not rush to the bathroom. If she passes urine or stool in the bed, don't make her feel guilty. If needed, you can start using diapers for her. Make her feel secure with you. Ask your siblings to help you.
Thank you, Ray. I feel so much better. I hope that the scientists soon find a cure for dementia and Alzheimer disease. Till then, I and millions of people will do our best to cope up with this disease.
Mary, I hope the same.